It's the Open Bedroom Doors Show.
I'm Angela Skirtu, and I open bedroom doors. Welcome to the Open Bedroom Doors Show. Real talk for real relationships. I'm your host, Angela Skirtu, your friendly neighborhood sex therapist and licensed marriage therapist. And yes, talking about sex is literally my job. I started this show because, let's be real, most of us didn't get sex education. We're out here fumbling through love, intimacy, and awkward bedroom moments with zero guidance and a lot of shame. Time to fix that. Here's what you can expect every episode. Sex positions. We start off hot by judging something wild, weird, or just plain wrong in the media or culture. You'll laugh, you'll cringe, you might even learn something. Next, we move to guest interviews. I chat with fascinating folks, sexperts, storytellers, and everyday humans with juicy stories and powerful insights. And then, of course, we have to have a happy ending. Yep, we finish strong. I answer real questions from real people about sex, relationships, and all the stuff you're too afraid to ask your therapist or anyone else for that matter. But I'm here, so ask away. If you're ready to laugh, learn, and finally talk about the stuff no one ever taught us, hit play. Let's open that bedroom door, shall we? This is a segment on the show we call Sex Positions, and it's basically where I judge something I find in the media. And today's sex position topic is erectile dysfunction. So I recently found an article that says there's vitamin D deficiency that's linked to erectile dysfunction. It was a new study in the British Journal of Pharmacology, and it confirms previous findings that vitamin D deficiency is in fact linked to ED. There's also a lot of other factors linked to ED that I wanted to talk about as well. So yeah, if you think about it, our bodies, okay, let's think about an erection and how it works, right? So an erection is about blood flow, right? So having good blood flow in your body then creates that basically enough blood gets into the penis so that it gets erect and you're able to use it. And so vitamin D and all of the vitamins, so like eating fruits and vegetables and getting vitamin D are all linked to having better blood flow and better body health. In addition to that, what you need to be doing is cardio. I don't think we talk enough about the role of cardio in your erection. But if you aren't getting out there and moving your body, and again, getting that blood flowing, boom, excuse me, running around, guess what? Your penis is going to stop working. Actually, so I was in a talk with other sex therapists, and one of the guys, I can't remember who said it, but it was a guy, and he was saying, I can go to a ball game and I'll tell you exactly who's having ED in that ball game audience. It's people who are drinking a beer, smoking a cigarette, and obese. And yes, I love all you. I think you're all wonderful people, and I want you to love your body wherever it is. And we all need to be taking better cares of our bodies. So if you want better erections, here are the things you need to do. Stop drinking and smoking, because it really does causing harm. Smoking restricts the blood vessels. That's why smoking does it. And it doesn't matter whether it's pot or cigarettes. All smoking does restrict the blood flow in your penis. So yes, maybe when you're young it would have worked, but as you get older, not going to do it. So you got to restrict drinking and smoking. You've got to do cardio, move your body every day, not like once a week. I mean, every day. We are always looking for sponsors. If you're interested in sponsoring the next sex position, please reach out at openbedroomdoors.com and submit a contact form. We will even let you pick the position. Are you ready to take your sex life beyond the bedroom and want to spice things up and have a little fun? Come join me for my couples retreats. We are taking Open Bedroom Doors to exotic locations and introducing you to fun, sexy new ways to intimately connect with your partner. In a beautiful location, surrounded with serenity, warmth, connection, that beachy vibe. This retreat is your opportunity to say, nope, I'm leaving the kids and work at home, and we're gonna go to a place where we focus on us. We slow down, we get into our sensory experience, and I just want you to ignite your sex life and learn how to really take your sex life from 0 to 100. I'm Angela Skirtu at openbedroomdoors.com, and I hope to see you at my next retreat. Welcome to the Open Bedroom Doors podcast. I'm your host, Angela Skirtu, and thank you for joining me today. I have two very awesome guests today. One is Shane Michael and your colleague, Jade. We're just going to call you Jade. So Shane Michael is the founder and lead photographer of River Rose, a boudoir photography studio built on something much deeper than photos. I always figured if I'm going to say boudoir, I've got to do it with a little accent. Right. But it was built on the mission to help women see their strength, beauty, and worth without apology. So no thank you, no apologies. I have worth. So tell us a little more about that, because I think it's better in your words. Like, what are you trying to accomplish with boudoir photography?
I'm trying to give women an outlet that they don't need to be concerned with. You know, everybody is so concerned with what this person will think, or this person's opinion, or this person's thought, and nobody ever really stops to think about their own direction and worth when it comes to anything, much less doing, you know, boudoir photos. Women need an outlet and an escape to be reminded of who they are and who they were before motherhood, before being a wife, before addiction, before domestic, you know, abuse, before all the trauma that was started, back to a moment where they felt like a badass. Or maybe this is their first time discovering that they're a badass, and they need that light kind of lit to see what that discovery is.
So I've talked to a lot of people who've done boudoir photography, and that connection to themselves, I think, is a really important piece of it. Jade, I want to bring you in because I don't want you to feel like you're out there in left field. So like so I can imagine like doing boudoir photo, just so if you don't know what that is, like you can dress up in cute little outfits. Sometimes there's more nudity, sometimes there's less nudity, but it is their choice, I imagine. But like, I could also imagine that having a man, there's like, oh, there's a man doing it. So Jade, is that where you come in somehow?
It is. So when they're changing and getting into their outfits, anything like that, it is my job to make sure the outfits fit properly. They're sitting where they need to sit, make sure they're comfortable with as exposed as they are before I bring Shane back in.
So you kick Shane out of the room. It's like, hey, the girls are going to go do some things. And then you help them feel comfortable. And then, but like, you're still the photographer, right?
Right.
So you got to make them feel comfy too. How do you do that?
Really bad jokes.
That's the best way.
I mean, it is. I mean, the relationship that her and I have allows for banter. And in my experience, when you have a little bit of friendly banter, it goes a long way with the company that you keep. 95% of the women that come to us all feel nervous, all feel awkward, all have expectations of not knowing what to expect.
Probably don't even feel beautiful sometimes.
They don't, and it's a roller coaster emotion. You know, one day they're feeling like complete badasses because they're doing this, and the next day they're trying to think of 15 different ways to kill a puppy so they can reschedule or cancel. Which, please, we love
Please
puppies.
Don't kill puppies.
We love puppies.
We like
don't do
the
that.
puppies.
But there's also a lot of, and you touched on this a little bit accidentally, there's a lot of miseducation when it comes to boudoir. Boudoir isn't necessarily just about lingerie. It's not about nudity. It's not about being exposed. It's about feeling powerful and empowered. I tell my clients all the time, we can do just as much in button-down and knee-high socks that we can do with a 5-piece lingerie set or with implied nudity. This is about finding that alter ego and bringing it into a reality to where both can coexist.
Yeah, I think, so I talk to people a lot about like what they wear and choosing to wear something because it makes you feel good. I think that people have a misunderstanding even about lingerie or like dressing sexy, that like it has to look a certain way. And some of it comes from our society, right? We'll watch a movie and this is what they're wearing, so I have to wear what they're wearing. But like when I help clients start wearing clothes because that's what like shapes their body well, or like we actually had a phone, we've talked before, by the way. So like this isn't our first meeting, but on our phone call, you and I were talking about how like, even if you get them at a certain angle, like there's ways that they can pose and position themselves that like, if they didn't know, like, oh my God, that looks gorgeous. I had no idea, you know, like that's really, you're trying to bring to life this inner beauty that they have in them, maybe just locked up somehow. But like, you tell more, because I'm just encouraging all that he does. I'm a bigger cheerleader than he knows.
In my experience, women and people in general, and I mean, a lot of what we do can be applied to men as well, but let's be real honest, men are not the most confident in sharing their sexuality or their feelings. We'll be very quick to talk about our conquests, but not about how we feel. But in my experience, women especially are so used to seeing themselves two-dimensionally. And what that means, they're looking at themselves through selfies, they're looking at themselves through the mirror, or they're looking down on themselves, whether mentally or physically. And the thing is when you're looking down on your body like this, everything's sex. Everything doesn't look as well as it should be proportioned. It's not a flattering view looking down this way. And it's not really until you can see yourself the way intended, the way your husband, the way significant others, or the way that people in general see you, that it really kind of awakens. You know, we talk about, you had mentioned something about, you know, what to wear. We have a great deal of women, I'll use this as an example. We have a great deal of women that come in with what we call baby doll tops. Okay, are you familiar with what those are?
I think so.
So they're kind of like teddies, but they'll have like a sheer, they'll have something that kind of falls off, right? Most women get this because they are trying to hide something, whether it's their stomach, whether it's their hips, whether it's some, you know, scar of a C-section. And what it ends up doing is making them very boxy. Okay, so now all of a sudden we've gone from unsure to a sexy cereal box. There's nothing flattering about that.
Don't be a sexy cereal box.
But in whether, you know, and this also applies to even, you know, the large women that we deal with, we encourage you to wear stuff that's going to hold your curves. Show those curves.
Honor them.
Honor them, because then when we're shooting from the angles that we shoot at and we're owning what our curves are and there's nowhere to hide, there's nothing to view but you and all the perfections that are there.
I think it's so important though too, because like all right, so I had this client once and I remember she would wear these things to hide herself up, and like she was exercising like crazy, and I remember telling her, I was like, do you realize that everything you're trying to exercise away is what makes you feminine? Like she was trying to get so skinny and like flat, and like it was basically trying to remove everything that made her a woman, like her curves. And she's like, well, I had not, I never thought about it. And like, it sounds like you're really trying to frame women and teach them how to honor that, like the feminine beauty, the curve. Like the curve is what makes a woman beautiful. Yeah. I don't understand why we don't honor that.
You know, there's this joke, you know, dad bod season. You know what I mean? Like you talk to all these women, they're like, oh, I got to have the dad bod. You know, they're sexy, they can pick you up, and, you know, there's still something to cuddle with at night. But then they've got this interpretation of themselves that they've got to have six-pack abs. They've got to have a Kardashian ass. You know, they've got to have all these things. And at the end of the day, I'll be honest, most of us men don't give a shit. You know, we like imagination. We like things to be able to hold on to. We like things to be able to cuddle with. But society has put such a marker on what women are supposed to be like, what they are supposed to be seen as, and all of it's bullshit. Hopefully, I can cuss. Right?
I mean, we did. You did it. I guess we're going to
find out.
You know,
right?
my book's a cussing book, right? It's from no to yes sex. So yeah, we're fine.
Okay.
We've got to limit it a bit, but it's okay. Go for it.
You know, but there's a lot of views that are out there that are just utter bullshit. You know, you've got a lot of women that want to assume the way that men think, and don't get me wrong, there are plenty of men out there that is the way they think. But there is also a great number of us that would prefer a little bit of curve over six-pack abs.
So I want to invite Jade into this conversation because I feel like you probably have a little behind the scenes experience. And so I'm curious, when women are changing, what is the dialogue? What are the things they're saying to themselves as they're trying to get into these outfits? And like, what are you having to coach them on?
So one thing I always have to coach them on is make sure their butt's not square.
What? Okay, tell me more.
You know, making sure we're wearing our panties in the proper way they're intended to be not wearing them in our hip dips. We all want to wear our panties in the hip dips. If you wear them higher, we have rounded butt cheeks.
My butt's round? I had no idea. So you have to teach them how to wear clothes. Whoa, wait. Okay, keep going. What?
You know,
I think you broke her.
I like getting broken on the tip. I love it. I love it when people break me. Go for it. So, like, people don't know how to wear underwear. Okay. So you don't know how to wear underwear. Tell us more about, like, what are you coaching them on?
So, they're always, oh, I don't like this. I don't like that. Girl, you might not look at it because, of course, we're still looking down on ourselves, looking in the mirror. And so there's times I have to take them over to the mirror and be like, look, this is gorgeous. This is beautiful. And this is who you are. What's there not to love?
So, like, there's a lot of, even as they're getting undressed or changing into these outfits, of, like, self-deprecation, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Do you ever have people get so, like, nervous that they can't even do the photo shoot?
No, not too often. Normally we can talk them off that ledge.
That's good. That's good. Because, I mean, I'm sure people thinking about doing a boudoir shoot, it's like, how could, you mentioned they're like, should I reschedule? So, like, you guys are pretty good at just helping them kind of feel comfortable, it sounds like.
Well, and we're there from beginning to end. It's not like getting a haircut, come in at 9 o'clock, talk to Tiffany, and you're out by 9:30. There's a process that we have in mind. I mean, even from the consult where we are asking questions that most people wouldn't be prepared for. What are a couple things that you physically love about yourself? That's usually the hardest question that they get because they've never been asked. But let me ask them, what are 2 physical things that you don't like about yourself? And they're ready to spit fire off 5, 6 answers.
Yeah.
And honestly, I've heard everything from big toe to collarbone. So answers don't even really surprise me anymore. I will tell you what we've learned in this is whether a woman weighs 80 pounds or 280 pounds, they feel exactly the same about each other. They still look at themselves with the same flaws. And tracking back on her for a second when it comes to the underwear, there's things that we do in our human nature that feel right and feel comfortable for us, whether it's aesthetically right or not. So when most women are wearing their underwear, like she said, we leave it on their hips. It rounds off completely across, right? Same thing with bathing suits. So when they're looking at themselves not properly, they've got this square ass.
Okay.
If you bring the underwear just up the hip, just the sides, it's almost going to feel like a front wedgie-ish kind of moment. But you bring off the side and you look back behind you, the only thing that's changed is now their circumference. So now you have
it looks like
round.
a heart back there.
Now you have the ass that you thought you didn't have. And it's small things like that. I mean, she has seen it. We've had clients come in that claim they could hide behind a microphone stand. I have no ass. There's nothing about me I like. And then when we're done with our session, they're beelining to go get sweatpants that say juicy on the ass.
So come get a picture with Shane Michael and you will get juicy pants afterward.
But the whole process is designed to navigate through all the emotions that women go through, our clients go through, period. And I am the only male on my staff because, well, I created it, so I kind of have to be. But even our hair and makeup artists were all clients before they became team. I have shot with Jade well before she came on the team. There's things that she has taught me, and there's things that I have taught her that come to the psychological of what we do. Nobody ever comes in not nervous. Some come in hiding it better than others. Some come in with manic decisions, but they all come in with the same nerves. But by the time that they have sat down with the hair and makeup artist and they've seen the banter and we're going through the conversations and we're laying out the outfits and they're seeing the scene, by the time we get through the first pose, we've awoken something. And the first pose is designed to break the vulnerability of what we're doing. And then the dad jokes are just there because, well, I'm a dad and I like to talk shit.
And they're fun jokes. And they're the best jokes that exist.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's quite a few that are going to hear this playback and send you some fan mail about that. But
I'm just saying, I like the dad jokes.
But what I love, and even what she has started paying attention to, is that we go through the first few poses, and I always show from the behind the camera. I want them to see them raw selves. I've touched nothing. All we've done is push the button at this point. And then they start seeing these images, and they just start to light up.
Yeah.
That alter ego starts to come out.
It's the first time they've ever seen themselves as potentially pretty or having some sort of asset. Like they never thought they did before.
It's a discovery.
Yeah.
You know, it's a pure discovery. It is probably the most innocent and most empowering moments that you will ever see a woman have. And then the rest of the shoot is just complete badassery.
And where can they find you?
River Rose Boudoir by Shane Michael on Facebook or through Shane Michael Studios.
Want to spice up your sex life? Then be sure to pick up a copy of my new book, From No to Yes Sex.
Tired of routine sex? Feeling more like roommates than lovers? Wondering where the passion went or if it was ever really there? You're not alone. And guess what? You don't have to settle for a sex life that's just meh. Better sex doesn't start in the bedroom. It starts in your head. And From No to Yes Sex, I'll help you break free from shame, outdated beliefs, and unspoken frustrations that have been keeping you stuck. When you change the way you think about sex, you change the way you show up for sex. And that's where the magic happens. This book will help you understand why you're not getting the sex you crave. Rewire negative thoughts about sex, your body, and desire. And finally, learn how to communicate what you actually want in bed. You'll stop treating sex like an obligation and start wanting it again. No shame, no fluff, just straight talk and strategies, and a whole lot of yes moments. Yeah! This is the first book in my Open Bedroom Doors book series, where we strip away the awkwardness and build a foundation for lasting passion. Whether you're in a long-term relationship that's lost its fire or just tired of going through the emotions, this book is your invitation to transform your love life one thought at a time.
Don't wait. Order now. That's too spicy. Well, guys, on the Open Bedroom Doors show, we often have content that's a little too spicy for your typical social media platform. So for those of you who are like, I love everything Angela skirts to and I want to know all the spicy details, we actually have a space where we put the uncut shows, and it is at patreon.com/openbedroomdoors. So you can subscribe to that channel and get all the behind the scenes, all that spicy stuff that I wasn't able to put in the show. That's too spicy. So I hope you can join me at patreon.com/openbedroomdoors. Keep in mind, that is how you support me. So it is a subscription channel where you have to pay to subscribe, but you are becoming a supporter of me and putting out this awesome content as a result. So please join me for those spicy, spicy things. Hi, everyone. I like to answer an audience question in every show. And with me, I have my BDSM bears. I have Barry Bonds and Consent Cub. And if you want to submit questions, please email them or submit a contact form at my website, openbedroomdoors.com, or you can submit questions in your comments below. So today's question from an audience member is, why do the same conflict points seem to recur over and over? And how should couples deal with them to prevent that emotional roller coaster from happening? Well, I got news for you. Like every couple has that. Every one of you. This is the hard thing. So actually, there's a researcher, John Gottman, who does research on couples, and he says there are something called unsolvable problems. And what unsolvable problems are is exactly this: recurring issues that they're just pain points that you both have. Like, so you each, just like my Barry Bonds and Consent Cub, this one's got certain personality traits that are different than this one's, and sometimes you just rub each other raw. Like, it's just relationships. So one of the things to do is to regularly have conversations about it and try to accept that this is just a part of who your partner is. I think deeper acceptance is one way to really prevent some of the arguments. I think the second thing is to stop arguing about it and just have the conversations, remind each other that you know that it is a thing that happens. Try to respect that it's something that annoys your partner. So where you can minimize or manage it a bit, like, I recognize that when I get in these modes, like for example, in my relationship, when I get into my go mode, I know I rub my partner raw and he gets annoyed. So one of the things we do is he takes a little more alone time during that time, right? Like, so I'm not going to be able to change the fact that I go into go mode and I'm like, I got to get this stuff done, right? Like, it's just who I am. And he's not going to change the fact that he's annoyed by that. So During those times when I'm prepared for like a big event or my couples retreats, for example, is a time where he needs a little more alone time to support himself. And that's really what you do, is you accept your partner's quirk, but you find ways to set boundaries for yourself so that you're not having fights about it. You just accept, all right, this is happening. It's a little annoying, but I can live with it. Well, that's a wrap on this episode of the Open Bedroom Doors Show. Real talk for real relationships. If you laughed, learned, or blushed a little, you're welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a friend who needs a little more real talk in their life. Got a burning question about sex, love, or relationships? Check out openbedroomdoors.com and submit a contact form. Your question might just be featured in the future Happy Endings segment. Until next time, keep it honest, keep it sexy, and most of all, keep those bedroom doors open. Good night and have a sexy tomorrow.